So it's been a long time since our family last went to Taronga Park Zoo, and considering the fact that this global pandemic has been going on for like 3 years now, and there's no signs that anything's going to end anytime soon, the fact that our government has kind of given up trying to control cases, it's time to start stepping out and exploring our local environment, checking out things in Sydney and surrounds, because let's face it, we're not going to go overseas anytime soon. It's time that we have some fun around in Sydney. So last time we went to the zoo, which was quite a few years ago now, we had the Zoo Friends passes, which is the equivalent of like a Disney annual pass. So you pay a certain amount, you can go anytime you want, you get 15% off as a discount in gift stores and some other perks and bonuses, which I can't remember right now. But we went ahead and purchased these because we figured out that if we managed to get to the zoo on a minimum of 3 occasions over the next 12 months, it actually repays the value of these zoo passes. Bear in mind that no matter whether you buy a single ticket for the day or whether you get zoo passes, right now you have to register your visit, and you do that by going to the Taronga Park Zoo website and just notifying the zoo of how many people are going to attend on that specific day. However, when we arrived at the zoo, I don't think it really made any difference because they never checked your ID or anything like that. You just line up as usual at the entrance and they scan your card. And perhaps that's how they registered the numbers, but I don't really think that they're taking particularly seriously the number of people who are actually entering the zoo. Now, one of the things that we wanted to make sure is that during this current pandemic, and the fact that for personal and family reasons, we wanted to stay relatively safe, that we wanted to make sure that the zoo is the type of environment where we felt comfortable going, and most of the time we actually did. We all wore masks when we went to the zoo, and we were probably one of the very few. I think probably less than 1% of the people who went to the zoo that day wore a mask, but most of the time it did feel quite safe, purely by the fact that most of the attractions are outdoors. We avoided the big shows. We'd never got to the seal show on time anyway, but given the fact that you could be sitting potentially next to 1,000 people, because that's the maximum capacity of the seal show, we just felt that that wasn't the place where we wanted to go, sitting next to 996 unmasked people, so we avoided that. But we managed to see almost all the animals that we wanted to see, and the ones that we didn't end up seeing wasn't because we didn't want to go see them because of crowds, but it's just because we ran out of time. And given the fact that we have annual passes, we're quite happy to leave it until we visit next time, and we'll catch up with the ones that we didn't get to catch up with this time. So we kind of just walked around anywhere we wanted to. We just went and saw the animals we wanted. We didn't stick to any specific particular patterns. We didn't follow a direct route. And we just wanted to see, for example, the monkeys, the giraffes, the elephants. We wanted to see the seals, and then we saw some pelicans, and we went to the kiddie zoo. We kind of just went all over the place, and it was quite an enjoyable visit. Some of the places were quite crowded, and in particular the tiger area was quite crowded, and it was really hard to see. And when you saw the tiger, the crowd just bolted from one window to the other, but otherwise there was reasonably good amount of space, and people were relatively considerate in terms of the fact that it is, despite what everyone says and despite them saying that it's COVID safe, it's really hard to social distance when you're trying to look at cute little animals at the zoo, because there's lots of kids running around, there's lots of people in general, but it did actually feel quite safe. We didn't buy any lunch from Taronga Zoo because we tend to not spend a lot of money doing that anyway, because we found that the food wasn't really worth it. So we just brought our own sandwiches, and we just found somewhere quiet, and there were lots of places around the zoo where you could sit without having to be near a lot of people. And we had our lunches, and then we continued to move on. In terms of the quality of the attractions of the zoo, it was pretty good. We've been to better zoos otherwise. About 5 years or so ago, we went to San Diego Zoo, and we found that there were a lot more animals. The thing about us wanting to go to the zoo is, apart from the fact that we get to see animals, we wanted to make sure that they seemed like they were pretty happy in captivity. There's nothing worse than going to see zoo animals and then leaving the zoo thinking that these animals look so miserable and they're so lonely and so sad. Most of the animals we saw seemed to be relatively happy. There were a couple of animals that seemed to be by themselves, and it kind of felt like they should have had a friend or two so that they could hang out together, but I guess that's what zoos are. Some people don't find zoos good for that reason, but zoos can be educational. In terms of the COVID safety of the zoo, it seemed relatively safe. There weren't a lot of indoor areas that we went into. The gift shop at the end was very crowded, and again, nobody was wearing masks there except for some of the staff. To be honest, a trip to the zoo right now without a mask on is not something that will get me particularly excited, and I would definitely not go if I didn't have a mask on. But you have to use your own risk assessment. It is outdoors. It's not impossible to catch a virus outside, but the risk, it's much less than, for example, if you went and ate inside a restaurant, or you went to a cinema, or you went to an indoor attraction such as the aquarium, which is something that I wouldn't go to right now. All in all, we had a fun day. We picked up a couple of nice things from the gift store, and hopefully we'll be back soon and we'll catch up with the rest of the animals and have some more fun. We are going to continue enjoying and exploring our local area until everything settles down. We don't know how long that's going to take. We're going to make the best of it. We're going to enjoy ourselves as a family and stay as safe and enjoy things as much as possible. Did you have fun?
Yes.
Did you get any stuff?
Yes.
Why?
Lion. I got a glass animal.
What'd you get?
Lion.
Cool, let's go. So if you've enjoyed this video, please give me a thumbs up and subscribe. Leave a comment down below, and I'll catch you next time in another video. Have a great day. See ya.